slideshow.
What did the AI go? Cops are nice. They're nice.
Well,
what happened?
Let's check it out. Okay, did we get our propaganda? Let's take a look. Okay, journalist sues cops. So here's what's going on. Here's what the AI slideshow projector said, that the recent incident involving the detention of Cop City journalists by APD has sparked controversy and outrage among media professionals.
Controversy. Yeah, sure.
So I don't know among whom other than the left, because nobody else wants to talk about it other than to suck off cops. According to reports, Timmy Kinnison, who works for Cop City News, was detained by police while covering a protest in downtown Atlanta on June 1st. He was allegedly held for several hours without explanation and subjected to intimidation tactics. This is pretty good, right?
Yeah, they claim they're all domestic terrorists.
Right. Well, Kinnison claims that he was wearing press credentials and identified himself as a journalist when he was approached by police officers. And despite this, he was handcuffed and taken into custody without being given a reason for his detention. And during his time in custody, Kinnison, I just want to, like Sam Kinnison, right? Alleges that he was subjected to verbal harassment and intimidation by police officers, go figure, who reportedly made comments about his profession and threatened him with physical harm. Go figure. Again, this was out of Truthout. So in response to the incident, Kinnison has filed a lawsuit against the APD, alleging violations of his constitutional rights and seeking damages for the harm he suffered.
Oh, fuck you, cops! Oh!
I applaud that. But what they're going to do is
now I'm just only thinking of Sam doing this.
Right?
The
lawsuit also seeks to hold the police department accountable for its actions to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. It sparked outrage, like they said, among media professionals who've condemned the actions of the APD as a violation of press freedom. Again, I haven't heard anyone in the press actually talking about Timmy Kinnison. So, because definitely, if I had heard the word Kinnison, I would have remembered that.
We definitely would have remembered that.
We would remember that name. So many journalists and media organizations have expressed their support. Let's see how, right? And the incident also raises important questions about police accountability for the treatment of protesters and journalists and by law enforcement agencies. At a high level, this is actually pretty decent, right? But it's not really giving you any
But what
detail.
about a low level?
At a low level, it's pretty miserable. But here's your conclusion, is that the incident involving him, highlights the ongoing struggle for freedom and police accountability in the U.S., and it also underscores the importance of protecting the rights of journalists and protesters. So they get the gist, right?
Sometimes.
Well, that one got the gist, all right? And we're going to go back there, and now we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you what Truthout really said about this. Because this is pretty fascinating to see how the AI works. Right, so detained Cop City journalist sues Atlanta police and alleges intimidation. So you got Zane McNeill. It's actually a really good article. I read it. You got all the forest defenders, Stop Cop City. Great. Shout out to all the forest defenders. We stand in solidarity with them and Stop Cop City.
Yeah, we covered them a few times.
Stop Cop City several times.
Lamb.
Yep. Well,
Cop City.
Yes. Oh, we still having the pop soda argument? All right. Well, I'm going to take a drink of coffee out of my new coffee mug. So,
by coffee, he means hummingbird fuel.
Woo!
You know?
All right.
And he wonders why he reads fast and stumbles, and it's just because he's juiced on caffeine and sugar.
I'm hopped up
on
Mountain Dew.
What to do? I'm coming at you like a spider monkey.
That's right. That's right. Everybody like and share the stream. I'm going to slow it down for 1 second and say that this is from our friends at Truthout. So subscribe to Truthout. They're pushing to raise about $35,000 over the next 4 days to keep themselves going and independent and not having to rely on corporate funding at all or advertisers, and we support the hell out of them. Truthout, by the way, is also an Indie Media Award honoree. You can hit the button for that. And then we can get going and read what Zach had to say, which was that an independent filmmaker and producer covering the Defend the Atlanta Forest protest. See, you didn't even get that detail from the slideshow. Like, what was he covering? Who was detained and interrogated by police for more than 90 minutes on June 15th last year. He's filed a federal lawsuit alleging civil rights violations that are part of a pattern of retaliation against free speech by the APD. So they didn't give you the journalist's name. Michael Watchalonis. Wait
Watch a who now?
a minute. What happened to Timmy Kinnison? I guess
That's what I'm saying.
What?
We'll figure out who Kinnison is
Okay. Yeah.
in a minute. Watch it be the name of the cop, and you just
right?
read all of that wrong.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to AI. So the journalist, Michael Watchalonis, alleges in a lawsuit that police interfered with his filming in violation of his First Amendment rights, and that APD illegally detained, intimidated, harassed, and threatened him. Yeah, clearly it was not. It was not. We're gonna have to fix this in post or do something. But actually, I want to showcase this and show them that the AI that is spitting out this stuff, you cannot rely on it, because look what just happened. All right, I'm going to ask you to delete all the footage that you have today, since it's been obtained illegally to begin with, and depending on how the rest of this interview goes, will determine whether or not you're going to be arrested. That's what the officer allegedly said. So he refused to delete it, and he was later released without being issued a citation. However, the officers forced him to be photographed before leaving and warned him that I'm sure our paths will cross again down the road. Oh, that's nice. Right? That wasn't a threat or anything. So he says, quote, the most disturbing part of my detention was being brazenly lied to and threatened by senior APD officers in front of more than a dozen junior officers with body cams recording. It was a dark classroom lesson in how to violate a journalist's rights. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Attorneys, activists, journalists have drawn attention to a pattern of civil rights violations by APD and the department's targeting of opponents of Atlanta's public safety training site, or Cop City, Cop City, as it's come to be called.
Yep.
Dozens of Defend the Atlanta Forest activists have been charged with domestic terrorism, a move criticized as absurd by legal scholars and by us. 3 activists who placed flyers on mailboxes have also been arrested and charged with felony intimidation of an officer of the state and misdemeanor stalking. And that's the other story.
Well, as your legal counsel, we are legal scholars. So, I'll let you.
I am not a lawyer. I am not dispensing legal advice. I am only doing this for entertainment purposes. Okay.
Yep.
We are going to cover that. The other story for Cop City is going to be this 3 felonies, 3 facing felony charge. But the protest-related crimes are no crime at all. It's protected by the First Amendment. Even when it's not, you're talking about relatively minor charges, usually. And that's what a defense attorney representing the activist told Candace Byrne. The state is now cracking down on the same behavior that used to get you a $300 fine and a night in jail at tops, and it's a huge overreach because they want to stop it. And that's how they discourage behavior like that, is they go overboard and they overpunish it. Journalists have also raised the alarm about the harassment and threats they've faced by APD when covering the mass arrests of Cop City protesters. What a surprise. So another one says, at one point I was personally threatened with arrest by an officer who, noting my out-of-town license plate, said, don't you know it's a felony to travel from another state for a protest? Oh,
hey, boy, don't you know? Don't you know it's a felony?
Right? The officer ordered me to leave the area, but other people attempting to leave were being detained and cuffed.
Also,
which
show me the citation, officer. Like, show me the statute.
Right?
Like, which statute?
Right? He said that if I left in my vehicle, I would not be arrested. And that's Francis Madison, and wrote that in March. Right?
What if he left in someone else's vehicle?
Candace Byrne also faced police intimidation while covering Cop City Week of Action. When leaving a downtown Atlanta protest, she was followed by cops to her friend's car. Several APD vehicles followed our vehicles. We attempted to leave downtown. They stopped us. I documented what happened next on a Twitter thread and live stream, she wrote in March. My friend was ticketed for allegedly not maintaining her lane and for her physical license being expired, although the license was technically renewed. That we were let go, I can only attribute to the thread and live stream going semi-viral during the stop itself. And they also are white women, so they're not going to be looked at too stringently. Let's call it for what it is, and I'll get in trouble for saying that. I don't give a shit.
What I mean.
A journalist reporting for Unicorn Riot, shout out to Indie Media Award honoree Unicorn Riot, and a filmmaker who has worked with CNN and Discovery Channel, have also documented police harassment and retaliation for their coverage of the Cop City protesters. I mean, it's been really tough down there. APD has a history of unconstitutionally targeting journalists, and early this month paid out $105,000 to settle a photojournalist lawsuit over his arrest while covering a downtown protest in 2020.
Wow.
How about that? Yeah, they have a link to that. That's in the that's over here. We can actually go to that right here. There's the guy. Yep. They detained him illegally. They had to pay him out $105,000 just for screwing with him. That was during the George Floyd protests. So, more lawsuits are expected to be filed in the next few months now that they won one over the unconstitutional police treatment of journalists covering Cop City activists. Right. So now what they've been doing is saying, if you want to come back and if you want to cover this again, you better not file a lawsuit against us or we're going to target you and we're not going to allow you to be here. Yeah, they're nuts. More than 40 human and environmental rights organizations, including the National Lawyers Guild, Human Rights Watch, and Southern Center for Human Rights, have condemned the retaliation and prosecution of activists by the APD. We've been covering this for a long time. Prosecutors in Georgia are launching a terrifying attack on our First Amendment rights. So where the hell did they get Kinnison from? That's what I want to find out.
I don't know.
Zane McNeill.
Control F, Kinnison.
Nice hair. Zane Crit Theory. Follow Zane.
Control F, Kinnison.
Yes.
It's like Kinn or whatever. It's a weird spelling they use.
Yeah, I know. Anyway. Yeah, no, it wasn't finding anything. What is weird? Okay, that's beyond strange. Like that, there are a bunch of names in there, and they just made one up. Okay.
Yep. Or it's in there,
that, folks. How about that,
probably
folks?
You didn't spell quite right.
So now that it's going back to Reef and I, let's go back to the name. Kinnison. No, that's what I searched.
Kinnison. Timmy W. Kinnison.
Kinnison. No matches. No matches. Okay. Thank you. Go home. What the hell is the name?
Google that. Google it. Google the name. Google the full name.
Oh no.
Go to your PowerPoint. Tommy W. Kinnison.
Timmy W. Kinnison.
Timmy W. Kinnison.
So let's go back here. What does Timmy W. Kinnison show us? All right. I'm doxing somebody. No, don't do that.
Transportation Safety Coordinator. That's Timothy W. Day.
Timmy! No, there is.
Where did it get this?
Journalist? Like.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
There is no. Okay. This is
crazy.
Nothing.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, let's not use this again.